Hello and welcome back to We Were Wondering. I'm Fiona.
And I'm Peyton, and today we have a not at all planned out topic for you once again.
Yes.
We're at that point in the semester, as I'm sure many
Yeah.
are. So instead of picking a topic and trying to make it work and not giving it that much effort, we're just gonna talk about that, that point in the semester. For us, it's also a little bit heightened by the fact that we're both seniors. So we're kind of focusing on the idea of senior-itis, if you've heard the
Yes.
phrase. Basically, this phenomenon that when you're a senior, whether it be high school or college, really, your just motivation hits an all-time low, and your will to go on does as well. And you
Yes.
you start putting minimal effort into things, like just enough effort to get by, and you procrastinate more than usual, things like that. So, we're going to get into that a little bit, speaking a little bit generally and also speaking to our personal experiences. Cuz I'm
Yeah.
sure,
Basically.
yeah, I'm sure if this ended up recommended to you in some way, you are in the same position. So,
Yes.
we understand and you're doing
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. As many people are. Like, I feel like even if you're not like a senior, it's like end of the semester, you're starting to be like, this is a lot.
Mhm.
If you want, a technical definition of senioritis, this is what comes up if you Google it. So, once again, minimal effort. A supposed affliction of students in their final year of high school or college characterized by a decline in motivation or performance.
Mhm.
It's basically, like Peyton said, school's almost done and you just don't care anymore,
Yeah.
which is tough.
Sometimes, it takes a hit on your mental health and sometimes it takes a hit on your GPA.
Yes. I really think like with seniors, I mean what it is like school just does not feel like the number one priority anymore. I know we've talked about that. I know that's certainly how I feel. Like I'm working on like law school applications too, and like that feels more important than my classes. And so like whenever I have to do like work for my classes, I'm like really like it feels like it's like a chore because I'm like okay, I'm basically done anyways. What's the point of like putting all this extra effort in? Like I've done what I could.
Yeah. Literally right before we hopped on this call, I got my midterm grade back for one of my classes, and I had 100% in this class. All it was discussion boards up until this point, and the midterm was due right before fall break, I think, or no, maybe it was due the day before Halloween. And
Mm,
that was just a time where, like, I wouldn't necessarily say it was quite the like end of semester situation I'm in more now, but it was like I had an insanely hectic month. Like October was crazy for me. And so just time, like I didn't have it. So, I didn't put a ton of effort into the midterm, but like I had 100% in the class. I was like, he's not a tough grader or whatever, it's fine. And then I got an 80, which like is fine. It just then it took my grade to an 83 because of how like weighted things are. Because it was really
yeah.
confusing because it was worth the same amount of points as a discussion board. Like they're all worth 100 points,
Mm,
but the weight is so
yeah.
different. And then the only grades that I have left, besides more discussion boards, is the final exam and the final paper, which are all due in like the last 2 weeks of school. And they're combined paper and exam are worth 60% of my grade. So then I was like,
Ugh.
oh no, I thought I had this class in the bag and I don't.
Yeah.
And now I'm
Oh,
like,
that's the
my
worst.
poor GPA. I'm going to get a B in this class. And like, this isn't the class I should be worrying about getting a B in. And it's fine.
I
But
hate when classes are like that, when it's like so much weight on just a couple of assignments.
yeah.
So
And
I'm
like I've
like,
had this
okay, well,
professor before. I don't remember this being a thing in his other classes, but
yeah. No, I had a class last semester where we had 4 grades, and it was 2 papers and then like the midterm and the final, and I did just so bad on the midterm, and I was like, well, I can't come back from this. I was like, and it was supposed to be an easy A class, and I was like, well, that did it. Like, we got 2 more grades left total, and
yeah,
it's October, so we're not getting back up there.
no. But yeah, I also like today's Wednesday. I'm definitely this week I think is the first week that what I would classify as like actually the like end of semester struggle, senioritis,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to call it. Because before that it was more just about like time management and like fitting everything
Yeah.
I needed in. Whereas this week I have time. I've had tons of time. Like I had so much free time yesterday. And then I didn't do anything I needed to do. I've been
Mm-hmm.
procrastinating quite a bit. And the thing is too, like this week I don't have a ton due. Next week I do. So it's like I should get ahead of the game, but instead I'm channeling all of my energy into random other things that don't matter. They do matter, but they don't matter to this semester.
Yeah. No, that's kind of where I'm at too. I don't have much going on. I'm looking this way because my calendar's right here. I
Hmm.
don't have much going on this week, but then like every week after that, I'm like, I have so much stuff, and I'm like, okay, I need to use this week to like be like productive, be proactive, and I'm like, got good grades right now. Like, I have other things I could be doing. It's really the law school applications. I think that's part of it. I mean, I think that was like even senioritis in high school. Like, so we both graduated in 2020, so that was like COVID year. And after they like shut the school down, like they made it so that any grades you got could only bring your grade up. They couldn't bring your grade down. So like, and we were seniors. I didn't do anything. I like completely clocked out of school. I did absolutely nothing. So I was like, you know what? Even if this did bring my grade down, I already got into college. Like,
Yeah.
I'm already set.
Yeah. I did a couple things during that time just because I also wanted my teachers to like me. So, and I was in classes that weren't hard. So like they were also somewhat fun projects. Teachers would try to make them fun too, or at least mine would.
I had one teacher who he like posted a poll on our Google Classroom, and he was like, okay, like we still have like 3 more units left. Like, he was like, I could record and upload video lectures for you guys, but like I'm not sure. And the poll answers were like, the first one was like, yes, like I would love to continue learning and I would watch these lectures. The second was like, to be honest, I don't care and I'm not going to watch them if you post them. And I felt so bad choosing the second option, but I was like, and then he like sent out, he was like, more people need to respond. And I'm like, am I a horrible person if I pick the second option? And then like the second option won, and he didn't record the lectures. I don't think he cared, but I
Yeah.
was like, I feel so bad. Like, I want to be like, yes, give us those lectures. But, like, also, it's more work for him if he has to record
Yeah.
them. So he was probably happy about it, I hope,
Yeah.
and not sad that we weren't passionate about American history.
Yeah. We still had assignments in band. Like we had to record
Mm.
them. I've told you this story before, but I don't think I've told it on here. We had to submit videos of us playing, and we were just playing like the audition music for the next year, but I wasn't auditioning because I was leaving. So most people just didn't do them, I don't think. But I was still turning them in. But I was like really not putting the effort in. Like we did, one of the assignments was scales, and so I played clarinet, and so it would be like a 3 octave scale, and I would just not do the top octave because I would be like,
Uh
I don't
huh.
have the energy. We're going to make this a 2 octave scale. And then he was really late grading them, and I thought he would just like slap a grade on it. But he recorded videos of himself listening to us, and then like sent them back to us. Like you can hear yourself playing like in the video
Yeah.
and then him reacting to it. And he when he got to the scale where I like dipped out, he goes, "Oh, Peyton, you can do that." And then at the end he was like, "This wasn't bad, but like you can do better." And then I cried cuz I was like, he's disappointed. He would have probably been less disappointed if I just hadn't submitted anything. Um, so yeah, that was great. It was also COVID. Nobody was doing well. So,
Exactly. And like you submitted something, so
yeah. Yeah.
it's okay. I did choir like outside of school, and they normally have like a whole like senior kind of thing, which they obviously didn't have, but they made this like senior kind of video compilation, and they were like, okay, like send us a video of you singing these two songs to use in the compilation. And they were like, you can sing or you can like lip sync, and I was like, I'm not sending them a video of me singing this like choir song solo. Like I was like, I'm just not doing that. So I just like lip sync to the music. And then I asked, like I was friends with pretty much all the seniors, and we were talking about it all after, and they were all like, yeah, it was so awkward like singing. And I was like, oh, I was just lip singing, and I was the only person who didn't like actually sing in my video. And so like they probably like watched them all back, and then when they put the video together, like you could tell because I was like over exaggerating my facial expressions, like in a way you don't do when you like actually sing. I
Yeah.
was like it was it was a lot. I was like, okay, maybe I should have just like sucked it up and sang and sounded bad, but I was scared.
It was a strange time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess for some of our senior class, we probably got bailed out of senioritis by
Yeah.
COVID. Not that it was
Oh, I
better.
know.
It just swapping issues there, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, it just meant that any senioritis we felt like wouldn't drop our grades because
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
But
Like,
but we also couldn't go anywhere or do anything.
yeah.
So it's a trade-off. Also, I
Yeah.
feel like in high school that set in like January. Like I'm a little, I don't know. My next semester classes, like the actual classes I'm in, are better than this semester. This semester just sucks. Like I'm not in an acting class. I'm in two marketing classes for my minor. I'm in one film studies class, which is the class that's like I now have a B in that I shouldn't have a B in. Then I'm in theater history, which is very difficult. Like that class is so difficult for no reason. Not for no reason. It's just a lot of information. But and it's like very very old information. But like everything is very I don't have any classes that are performance based, and I'm used to having like
Mm-hmm.
at least one. And then those classes are like the classes I enjoy and they help keep me motivated. And I have none of those at all.
Yeah.
So that's fun. But the next semester, I have two performance classes and a writing class that I'm taking for fun because I needed it for credits. My senior project, which I've already started. And then my. Oh, there's one more thing. What is it? Oh, an advertising class that will be my one class that sucks. But instead of having like one this semester, they all suck.
Yeah. This semester, I'm not taking any classes for my major, for either of my majors, but I'm taking like stupid classes. Like, I'm really just like, they're not stupid, but like, I'm taking like, sorry, that was my chair. I can't like move around in the seat. Also, I'm sorry in advance. My laptop fan is just really, she's just really having a good time right now. So if you can hear some background noise on my end, that would be why. Anyways, yeah, I'm taking like one class in the honors college, like just for fun because I like the professor, and then taking a philosophy class because my friend was taking it, and then I'm taking a public policy class just for fun, but it's like very much a freshman class, so it kind of ended up being a little more annoying than I anticipated. I think it's interesting, but like it's very freshman esque. Not in a bad. Nothing against freshmen. I'm just not one. And then I'm taking an online asynchronous econ class because I had an econ minor, but I dropped it because I was taking a different econ class that I had to take, and I decided it was too hard for me. So, which that honestly, that might have been a senioritis thing because I was like, you know what? I'm a senior and I don't want to take this class, and I don't really care if I have to minor in economics or not. So then I just dropped it. I think I probably would have taken it if it was like last year or sophomore year.
Yeah.
Even freshman year. I was a motivated student freshman year.
Yeah,
But
I had more motivation freshman year. I had different motivation, I guess, because like wasn't in anything for a major. I had no major. I was undeclared. So
yeah.
now everything is like more hand-picked, which is nice. But
Yeah. It really is just the fact that like now we have like other priorities I feel that are more important than school. Because like you said, like senioritis in high school kind of set in like January. I feel like that was because by January, like everyone had submitted their college applications if like they were planning on going to college, and then it was very much just like, okay,
yeah,
either I'm in college or like I know where I'm going or like I'm not worried about this anymore.
for sure. The only thing that I had second semester that I guess mattered was my AP exam for AP Lit because I didn't already have a credit for language arts. So, like, if I got the score, then I wouldn't have to take in college. That was the only, like, motivating thing I had left. And I didn't
Yeah,
do
lit.
anything about it. I just happened to do well.
Yeah, lit just gave me an elective credit, so that was cool.
Nice.
I still had to take. Same thing with Lang, like they both neither of them counted for like the specific requirement that I needed.
Mine took my, like, intro English class, Gen Ed English
Yeah.
class.
Yeah, I had AP classes, but I just stopped caring about them. I was taking AP Calc and I like quite literally did not do a single math problem from the time that like school was canceled to the exam. Um, would I have done better if I had? Probably. But I did not. And I
That's
still
all right.
passed.
Yeah,
So,
that's good. I did the like dual enrollment math class, the algebra 3
mhm.
like through the community college. And that was a fantastic decision because that was not a hard class and I haven't had to take a single math class in college because of it, which is amazing. I hate
That's
math.
pretty good.
I've never been that good at it.
Yeah, I got calc covered like my like math credit, but I still had to take a stats class, but I took it first semester freshman year, which was 2020, when like a lot of classes were fully online, and it was fully online. Attendance was like not mandatory, and then like all of our like things for it were open note, and then people would like send like answers in the groupies. Not that I ever cheated, to be clear. Not that I was ever a part of these group me's, because I was not. But
Not
I knew
invited.
of others who were, but not me, because I am a good student. So, but
They were there.
yes, they existed.
That was a terrible time. Like freshman year, first semester was bad. I didn't like I got fine grades, but like it was just a bad time. I only had like one in-person class, and then there was nothing going on campus. I didn't have a car. I was in the dorm, so I was like sharing a room with somebody, and the person I was sharing my room with, I was very good friends with, and like I'm still friends with. And like honestly, great roommate situation. It's just when you're never alone and also
Yeah,
like in the dorms nonstop because there's nowhere to go. Like I didn't need to go anywhere and I didn't have a car, so like the places I could go, I had to walk or I went with my roommate like to Walmart. Like we would be excited by random trips to Walmart.
yeah,
And like if I wanted to go home, which like when I get sick of like I can just drive home now if I have a free weekend and I'm like sick of school or something. But then like my mom would have to drive to school and pick me up and bring me back, so I didn't go home that often. And so I just felt very, very isolated, and that was terrible. That was probably my like
Yeah.
worst, that my like lowest point thus far.
Yeah, I think definitely like starting college in 2020 was just not a good time to start it because it was just so hard to like when a lot of classes were online, you weren't meeting people in classes. Like even like certain activities would have like meetings over Zoom where you like wouldn't actually meet people. Like I
Mm-hmm.
joined a sorority freshman year and really the only person I was friends with in my sorority for like the entirety of freshman year was my friend who like we were friends before we joined the same sorority. Like she lived down the hall from me.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so like there were like just no opportunities to meet people. And now like I'm looking especially at like the freshmen in my sorority and I'm like they already like are getting involved in so many things and they're like have like they're like best friends in like the first like 2 weeks of the semester and they're like going out and doing things. And I'm like, yeah, that was not what it was like for us. Like
Mm-mm.
we were not doing anything. Cuz I at least I didn't do anything. I was lucky in that because of COVID, they like split up some of the rooms. So I was in like a 4-person suite, but they split me and my roommate up. So we each had like a full bedroom to ourselves, which was awesome because
Mm-hmm.
I definitely needed that space,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I was spending so much time in the dorms.
Yeah, my roommate had more in-person classes than I did, and she also, I feel like she got a job at some point. Like she was gone sometimes. I also didn't enjoy going out because like I didn't know anybody. And so she'd sometimes go
Mm-hmm.
out more than I did. Then I'd have like an evening to myself, or like I had little pieces that were good.
Yeah.
Spring semester, I got a car, um, and my roommate and I started going on daily walks. That like saved my life because that's
Mm-hmm.
dramatic. But like I felt so much better going outside and walk. And we would walk. Like we would take 2 hours. We'd walk like
Yeah.
4 miles. And like
Yeah.
it was great. So that's one thing. If you're feeling cooped up, go for a walk. They're very healing.
Oh, yeah. I go for walks like every single day. And I don't even go that far. I walk like 2, 3 miles usually. And like 3 miles is like that's like less than an hour walk if you walk quick.
Yeah.
Even if you don't walk that quick, that's still less than an hour unless you're walking slow. And it's so nice just to, like put my AirPods in, I can like clear my head, or you can go for a walk with a friend too. I like to be like dramatic and mysterious and walk by myself. So,
I don't enjoy walking by myself because then I'm just alone with my thoughts.
oh, that's why it's like, I just kick my desk. AirPods in, music on, like that's like the I feel like I like work through all of my like thoughts while I'm on my walks. Like that's like my time to like
Mm-hmm.
process things. Sometimes I feel bad because sometimes I'll be leaving to go for a walk and like I have one roommate. She'll be like, "Oh, like I wanted to go on a walk too," and I'm like, "Oh, but like this is like a me
This is for
walk."
me, yeah. I
Or
enjoy
but
walking with people more.
yeah, I like walking with people sometimes. I like to like speed walk when I walk, and so
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they slow me. It depends on like if someone else suggests going for a walk, I always would like to walk with them. But
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes I just need to go for a walk by myself to clear my head.
Yeah. I just really like talking. So sometimes it's partially helpful for like going outside, but also for like having a social interaction because sometimes like I'll go through the day and realize like I really haven't had that many social interactions for a while. And so then it's
Uh-huh.
good to like actually talk. My roommates and I this semester have done more together than we have at all last year. We like would occasionally talk in the kitchen or living room or something, but we were very
Mhm.
independent and like doing our own things. And multiple times this semester we've like all ended up sitting in the living room for like hours talking, and that's also been really
Yeah.
nice. because we talked about this a little bit earlier today, but like we're all doing different things. So even if we talk about like things that are stressing us out, none of us have shared stresses. So you're like hearing about everyone else's life too, and then you eventually like can set your stress aside kind of, because like you're like from different worlds in like a
Uh-huh.
campus.
I definitely like my roommate situation this year. I feel like it's been the best out of all of my roommate situations. Not that like my roommate situation last year wasn't bad, but we just never, it was the same thing. I feel like we were all kind of like independent. We had like roommate time, a little bit at the beginning of the year, but it kind of like faded off, and it was always just like there'd be like two of us sitting in the living room. It was never like a whole,
Mm-hmm.
we were never like all together. And I think this year, I mean, honestly, partially because this year my house is a lot smaller. So like last year I had like a very separate like kitchen and living room. This year they're kind of together, but it is nice to like have someone to talk to, like pretty much always if I go downstairs.
Yeah. No, that is
Yeah.
nice. To kind of tie it back to the senioritis, those are all good things to prioritize too. Because we were talking about priorities, like that's a big thing that
Mhm.
is a factor in like that senior year pit. um, and like prioritizing having social interactions that like you're not talking about the things, or so it's healthy also to talk about. So like have your time to
Yeah.
talk about your stresses and like de-stress and like let somebody else listen to you talk about it. It like alleviates stress. And then also being able to talk to people about things that have nothing to do with what you're stressed about, or like I know for us, and this can be the same for high school, like whatever people's future plans are, but like this is my last year of school, and then Fiona's going on to law school, but we have the stress of like our futures like looming over our heads kind of.
Yeah.
And that's something that is stressful, and also like kind of clouds from our current stresses, because it's like, why am I worried about this paper when I have the entire rest of my life to worry about? um and things like that. So like being able to talk about things that aren't stressful and like have those lighthearted conversations and be social and like distracted, honestly. And like also taking time to yourself, like you were talking about with your walks,
Mhm.
like get outside, get disconnected, and like really just take time to yourself to like check in with yourself. Because you can also, if we want to tie this to our burnout episode, which would also be a great episode to listen to if you're like in this place, um, is that you can get to a point where you keep so much hidden from yourself, like you keep your stresses at bay, and then they all hit you all at once, and then it's too much to handle, and then you get completely
Yeah.
burnt out to where like you can't focus on any one task because everything's stressful and you're tired and yada yada yada. I don't really know how I'm rounding out this run on paragraph, but all things all things.
Yeah. Basically, make sure you're taking time for yourself. Like your life shouldn't just be like school and like schoolwork and work and stressing about the future. Like you need to take time to spend time with people you like and do something fun and not lay in bed and watch TikToks for like 3 hours in the morning while you think about how your life is falling apart, which is what I've been doing the past 2 days, but I'm moving past it,
That's good.
I think.
Yeah. It's a interesting time whenever you're
Yeah.
like whatever it is, closing a chapter of your life and like starting to open another chapter is stressful. And
Yeah.
uh, and this like what is called senioritis, I feel like can apply to any end of a chapter. Like it just comes with like stress, and your perspective changes and your priorities change, and then it can result in like you not fully finishing as strong as you could.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially now because I'm like, I like when we were like graduating high school, it was kind of like, oh, going off to college, but it was very much like still 4 more years of school. But now it's like like now we're all like adults, like actual adults, not just like 18-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
If you're 18 and you're watching, you are an adult, but like
You're not. Also.
you're not. Yeah, you've got to get some years as an adult
Yeah.
under your belt, and like we're doing like adult things, you know. I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, oh, like I've got to find a place to like live, and I can't just live in the dorms and like
Mm-hmm.
make my friends through my like roommate Facebook page. Like, hi, I'm Fiona. I like going out and I'm gonna join a sorority. Like,
Yeah.
okay. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah. How do people make
And plus, it's
friends
like,
when they're not in school?
I don't know. Like, every time I like see someone who I know who like just graduated, like post something, they're always, I feel like whenever they post on Instagram, they're like with people they went to college with. I'm like, and I know you guys don't live close together. I'm like, do you have any other friends? Like,
Yeah.
are you doing okay? Do you have friends where you live?
Because you also can't just have work friends. Because it's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing where, like, when you're surrounded by people who are doing the same thing as you never escape it.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're doing some sort of like corporate job or whatever where like all your coworkers could be like way older than you or like different like places in your life, you
Yeah.
know? Where it's like obviously you can still be friends with them, but you are going to want some friends who are like your own age and your own like vibe and who live your
Mm-hmm.
same lifestyle, which you're not necessarily going to find at work. I don't know. At least hopefully I'll make friends in law school and they won't bully me.
I don't think they'd bully you. I feel like that's more a middle school thing than a law school thing.
You never know.
That's
They could
true.
bully me.
There's mean people at all ages.
Yeah. I don't think I'll get bullied, to be clear. At least I hope I won't.
Yeah. That's good. Anyways, Fiona, what steps are you actively taking to overcome your senioritis?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. This has been a bad week for me. It's currently Wednesday. Um, basically, just I've been dwelling on this past weekend, and it's kind of derailed my bettering myself journey. But my bettering myself journey will be back on track next week. So when I'm talking about things I'm doing to overcome my senioritis, I'm not talking about the past 5 days or so because
Okay.
those haven't been good. Don't use that as an example. I have been trying. Well, I've been trying to like once again just like get into a routine. So like getting up relatively early. Like I go on walks every single day. I try and like make time for friends. Even like I have one friend who's also applying to law school, and like we'll work on like law school applications together. And that also is like it's a chance to like socialize a little bit. Like we're not like always on track. I've been trying to get back into journaling. I talked about this in another episode. I kind of really got off track there. So I've been trying to do that, and that's like a chance to like write down my thoughts, like debrief. I just in general, I try and make time to like do things I enjoy and like establish a routine and just set priorities for myself. Be like, okay, I'm finishing this today, and if I finish it today, then I can do something fun tonight. So I have to do it today, and it has to be good.
Nice.
What about you?
Oh, here's the thing. I don't feel like I'm actively doing anything. I feel like I'm very passive in life right now. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not doing anything like wrong. Like I'm meeting due dates and like I'm doing well in my classes, but I'm not like going out of my way to do anything at all. Like I'll set a plan and then if it gets like the other day I was going to do homework yesterday and I was going to like sit on the couch and work on my senior project, which is the thing that I'm channeling all of my energy into that I like really shouldn't be. But it's not unimportant, so it's very easy to justify it cuz I'm like no, this is like something I
Yeah.
really enjoy doing, and it is like a school project. It's just not due for another 6 months. Um, but it's a big project, so like you have to be thinking about it also. But I've been channeling a lot of energy into that. Also, still not channeling it in the right way. I should be writing, and instead I'm making mood boards. Anyways, it's character development. It's planning characters. Anyways, I was doing that for a little bit, and then my roommates came and sat down, and then we, I just talked to them and was like working on my PowerPoint for hours. Again, not an on task PowerPoint. And I was completely fine with it. I was like, this is all good. Like, I don't need to be doing anything else. I probably should have been, but I've just been very passive in everything. Very just like, okay, like this might as well be what I do now. And so there's very little intention setting and very little personal reflection happening right now.
Yeah, and to be clear, in the past 3 days, there has been very little personal reflection happening. Well, there's been a lot of
I
personal
was gonna say, I
reflection
think
happening.
there's been an absurd amount of personal reflection happening.
Yeah, there's been too much personal reflection happening in the last 3 days, but that's okay. Anyways, connected to what Peyton was saying, I also think it is good to find like something that you can kind of channel your energy in. Like, obviously, like with your senior project, it's not like a hobby; it's also like school related, but like finding some sort of like project or hobby that like feels productive but is also enjoyable, because I think that's my problem is like whenever I'm like spending time on like my phone or like on TikTok, I don't feel productive, and it's like free time, it's like me time, but I'm not like feeling good about myself afterwards. I'm just
Yeah.
feeling like I didn't do anything. So I think it's good to also find something that you enjoy but also like makes you feel good about yourself, whether it's like some sort of like artistic hobby or like sport even that you
Hmm.
like to play. I don't know. Finding
Yeah.
something.
That's true. And that's what I also like. It makes it really easy for me to justify it. And also, to be clear, like the way my brain works, since sophomore year of college, I function week by week. So I don't really think about next week until Monday. And then but like on Monday, I really get started and like I'll be done with everything I need to be done with by like Thursday because I don't want it to disrupt my weekend. So like I am pretty good about prioritizing like my week and giving myself the time off. And I know that I can't have time off if I have things left to do because I'm not like actually shutting it off. So I need to get
Yeah.
everything done before the weekend. So like I am not behind schedule at all. Like I will get everything done this week. Really no problem. It's just like for me, the fact that it's Wednesday and I haven't started is like stressful even though I'm gonna get it all done. It's not, and I don't have anything big due this week either. Like it's really okay. So, but that's the way my brain works. I like
Yeah.
to plan. It's my mom's fault. She did this. Where you can't have time off unless everything's done. um,
No, I understand that.
and to where I differ from my mom is everything does not include laundry or cleaning
Mm,
or the dishes. Whereas for her, it's like everything, everything. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, it means my laundry's not done, but I don't care either.
Yeah. No, I've talked about this before. It's like I have a lot of movies I want to watch, and movies like 2 hours, but I'll be like, oh no, I have homework to do. I can't watch this movie, and then I'll be like, but I can take 15 minutes to like scroll my phone, and then I'll end up being on my phone for like 2 hours anyways, and I'm like, I should have just watched the movie, but I
Yeah.
can't make myself commit to a 2 hour movie, even though I would enjoy it and it would de-stress me and potentially even motivate me to do work
Mhm.
because I'm like this, I have this thing like looming in the back of my head. Same thing, I feel like once I get my law school applications in, then I'll feel good. Because even like, I feel like even when I don't have any like homework due, I'm like, I still feel like I have something that I should be
Mhm.
doing, which I do. I actually very much need to work on applications today because I want to finish them before my birthday.
Maybe over Thanksgiving break, I will do some work. That's the other thing. When I have a break, I'm like, I'm using the break. Like, I'm not working over this break. And
Uh-huh.
then I come back from the break and I'm like, holy crap, I have so much left to do. So maybe
Oh,
I'll try
yeah.
and set myself up for success a little bit.
No, it's the same thing on like fall break. I had like this long to-do list, and like because I was home on Monday and Tuesday, where both my parents were at work, my brother was at school, so I was like home alone. Like I wasn't doing anything, and I got like half my to-do list done, but not nearly the amount of homework that I wanted to do. I got all of my like other like life tasks done. I just didn't do
Yeah.
much school because I was like I'm not at school right now. Like I'm at home.
Yeah. It really, it is not hard for me when I go home to shut off school brain. I disconnect entirely. And then I'm shocked when I get back.
Oh, yeah. Well, even I was out of town this weekend for a wedding, and I was like, oh, I'll work on some work in the car because I have a couple things I can do, like, without Wi Fi. And it's a long car ride. And I was like, also, like, we're not going to be busy 24/7 this whole weekend. We'll have downtime. And I just didn't work on anything in the car
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, no, I'm talking to my mom. And when I'm not talking, I'm like on my phone and certainly not wanting to work on anything.
Yeah. I think that because of the mindset I just described too, it also makes the quote unquote Sunday scaries so much worse. Because like Sunday night, I'm like, oh, now my week starts. I have to turn back on the school brain. And then that's when
Uh
I'm
huh.
reminded of everything I have to do. That's been real this year. Sunday evenings have not been pleasant for me this year. I think
I
that's normal
think
though.
Yeah, I think I've been okay with that because I don't do my stuff. I don't always finish my stuff earlier in the week. And so, like, I have like one consistent homework assignment that I always do on Sundays. And so then it's like, I like always know that's there, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
Well, like when you accomplish something in a day, then you feel better about the fact that you haven't done anything else that day.
yeah. I feel like Sunday is like always a homework day for me. So, like, I feel like I always feel productive on Sundays because I spend the day doing work.
I try my best to give myself Sunday like as entirely off as possible because and like on Sundays when even like when friends want to make plans on Sundays, I'm like that's my
Mm.
day. I don't want to do anything. Saturday, fine. I'll go out on Saturday. I'll make friends with plans on Saturday. Sunday, mine. But I don't know. But then Sunday gets over. I've always been that way. Like when I was a little kid, ever since I was a little kid, like Sunday nights, I would get really sad because I was like, my time is over. I
When
rem
I was a kid, I when I was a kid, I really liked school, so I was like excited about the week to start.
one okay, weird. Um, once I got to school, I was fine. I it was the like pre stress
Uh
of
huh.
the week. And it wasn't always stress because I mean, I'm talking like elementary school too. Like I enjoyed elementary school. I just really enjoyed the weekend. I have always been a homebody like for as long as I can remember. So I always wanted to have time at home. And if I when I had
Mm.
Sundays off and like when I was little we went to church on Sundays. So like I'd be like, okay, well, we have our family like church and lunch, but then Sunday afternoons, like, I get to do whatever I want and I get to stay home for the rest of the day. And like, I would be really excited about that. And then, like, whenever the sun would set, like when it would start getting dark, then I'd start getting really sad. I would also get really sad when Christmas was over. So like around like 6 or 7 p.m. on Christmas, I used to cry when I was really little. I would cry on Christmas night because Christmas was over and I had to wait a whole nother year before Christmas. Like I would get really sad when like my time was over and Christmas was the
Uh
ultimate
huh.
like that is my day. That is my favorite
Uh
day
huh.
and I would get really sad when it was over.
And that's kind of sweet, though.
Yeah, I'm still that way. I just don't cry. I just get sad.
Yeah,
Sometimes I probably cry.
I was like a crazy child. I don't know what was wrong with me. So, but I was like, oh no, I love going to school. I've always liked, I've always liked having me time, but I don't think I've ever been. I'm not that as much of a homebody, and I also, I don't know. I feel like I've always gotten really like, even when I was a kid, I would get super super antsy when I had too much me time, I think. So like I almost like I didn't like to have a whole day with like no plans.
Mhm.
And I think I'm still like that. Now I'm less like that cuz sometimes I just want to do nothing. But
Yeah. I used to have a really easy time doing a whole day of nothing because I had very little else to do. Now I get a little antsy sometimes because, like, I know that I have things coming up. And so I'll
mhm.
start to be like, oh, I just spent a whole day or like many hours doing nothing. Like, should I have been productive? But then I usually talk myself out of that because I'm like, no, you have to have like days off. You're never gonna
Yeah.
have nothing on your plate like you did when you were a kid. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's why I do my walks cuz especially when I have a day off, and I'll like take a really long walk and then I'm like, okay, well, even if I feel like I did nothing, at least I went for a walk and that was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. No, that's and on Sundays I try to accomplish some sort of like life task. I don't really do much of that
Yeah.
during the week. So, Saturdays or Sundays like that's when I'll clean and I'll like my room will be messy because I just set things places throughout the week. So I'll like tidy everything. I'll vacuum, I'll wipe down countertops, like I'll do the laundry. That's where I will like catch up on those tasks, and then that makes me feel better about my time off too. And then while I'm doing those things, I can like do something like I will watch Friends in the background or something like
Yeah.
that. Like I'll still be doing things for me. And then they're so calm those days. So, yeah.
Yeah. Gotta give yourself a little Sunday reset.
Mhm. Love a good Sunday reset.
Anyways, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like this whole episode we've kind of just like derailed a little. Not that we
Yeah,
had a plan, but
that's true.
I hope this gave you some tips, maybe.
Yeah,
Do things for yourself.
or just some relatability, even if there's
Yeah.
no. And you're doing great.
Yeah. Power through it. Semester's
Mhm.
almost done if you're in school. And let us know what you've been up to by following us
Yeah.
on our social media, Instagram, TikTok, subscribe. You know the drill.
Heck yeah. Come back next week on Wednesday to hear us talk some more about something else. We don't know.
Yeah, hopefully a little more planned,
Probably
but
not.
no promises.
Anyways, bye.
Bye.